Welcome to the NC Cardinal video demonstrating some of the new features for our 2.12 upgrade. I'd like to start with some of the new features in our OPAC search. You'll see here that in addition to limit to available items and group format and additions, we have a couple of new checkboxes. One is show results from all libraries. So if a patron or a staff member is searching for just the local library and wants to expand the search to allow them to search all of NC Cardinal, all you have to do is check the show results from all libraries, and the search will run again and you can show all the results. Another option we can use is exclude electronic resources. As you can see, my first result is an ebook. So if I check that box and hit search again, the search should exclude all electronic resources so long as the cataloger has used the form O or S in the item form fixed field. When placing holds on titles with monograph parts, the part selection are now shown as radio buttons instead of the drop-down box. This makes it easier for staff and patrons to avoid overlooking the selection options that they have to place a part on hold. In the patron account, there are several changes. For instance, patrons can delete an individual title from their history. They get an "Are you sure?" message. And if they check it, it's deleted. In the account preferences, if a patron decides they no longer want to retain their checkout history, they can uncheck the box and save, and they should see this warning message that tells them that that history will be permanently deleted. So they have to hit confirm. If they don't want to delete the past history, they can hit cancel. Under notification preferences, patrons can choose to have their checkout receipts emailed to them by default by checking the box. Under the Holds tab, the display has been streamlined to combine several pieces of information into the status column. Patron name searches are now case insensitive, space insensitive, and punctuation and diacritic insensitive. So you can see my search for O space Brian returns results for O space Brian, also O quotation mark Brian, O apostrophe Brian, and so it doesn't matter what you type into the search box as long as you type in all the letters spelled correctly, the search results will appear. If you have inactive patrons included by checking this sticky box, then those results will also show in the patron registration screen. Staff should always still perform a search of all NC Cardinal libraries before issuing a card to a patron, following the multi-card policy. There are new pop-up messages to show when things need to go either in transit with the truck or a bookshelf if the item is ready to go onto the hold shelf for the patron. There's also now a canceled transit status. So if an item goes into transit and the transit is aborted for some reason, then you'll see this status of canceled transit. Additional staff action is required to put this item back into available status. You would just need to check it in. There are two new options available in the column picker: age hold protection and holds count. Age hold protection will show whether or not it's in effect. It just shows whether it's been applied by the cataloger in the item attributes, and holds count shows how many pending holds are available that have not yet been captured, and you select these in the column picker. There are a couple of new library settings you can select to show a copy alert for in-house use when there's a copy note, and also a setting to display routing information to send the items back to the correct shelving location. There are also 2 new library settings for payments. If staff accidentally enter too many zeros in the payment amount, the library setting can establish a limit for that. There can be a warning that asks, "Are you sure?" And there can also be a max limit so that no payment will be accepted over a certain amount. There are a few new acquisitions options. The blanket order function allows staff to invoice encumbered amounts multiple times, paying off over a period of time. The process does not allow tracking of individual contents of the order, only the bulk invoice amount. The drop-down menu in the funding source interface will now show active funds only and will also show the year to help with sorting and selection. Funds are not spent in 212 until the invoice is closed, and paid amounts show in red on each line item when every non-canceled item has been invoiced. Acquisitions costs are a new feature in the item attributes or copy editor. Acquisitions cost will be automatically calculated and inserted using the invoice cost, but it remains separate from the price feature here, which can be input by the cataloger. Thank you for joining me for this new features video for our upgrade to 2.12.